Yeah.
Welcome to Joe's Atmosfere. Okay. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for this episode of State of the Atmosphere. Today, we're going to look at Disney's problems last week. Looks like they're going to close down their $6,000 weekend Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser hotel experience. That, and they've stopped plans on moving their headquarters to Florida. We'll discuss all that. Plus, we'll look at the life and the roles of Ray Stevenson, an actor that was cut short, whose life was cut short way too early this week at the age of 58. He's been in a lot more things than you guys think, believe it or not. I think you'll be surprised when we talk about him later on. Very underrated character actor. And of course, we're going to talk about Memorial Day and all the traditions that we have that have to do with that great remembrance of those that gave the ultimate price for this nation's freedom. All of that and more on this episode of State of the Atmosphere. All right, welcome aboard to State of the Atmosphere. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, better known as the Privateer in some circles. And with me tonight, as usual, I got some co-pilots, starting with Das Wolfen. How you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Doing good. That was a great intro. Whoever that handsome guy with the guns is, he's amazing.
I love the one where you shoot the Laws rocket. That's fantastic, man. And then, of course, we got the guy that plays all the Jedi in the video. Knock, what's happening, man?
You know, to be honest, I was going through IMDb, so I missed the whole thing.
You missed the whole thing. Well, you'll see it again. You'll see it again at the end
I'll
of the
have to pay
show.
attention.
You goof.
I got distracted by this one show, Foundation, coming out on Apple TV that looked kind of interesting.
The first season of that's out.
This first season that's been out. I've already seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I
haven't checked much of Apple TV, so I just saw. I guess the second season's coming out soon.
One of the better sci-fi series they've made is on there, at least in the last several years, and that's For All Mankind.
For All Mankind, yeah.
The only thing I've watched on Apple TV is C with Jason.
Yeah.
That's it. That's literally it.
Well,
For All Mankind is like an alternate telling of the space race in an alternate future where the Soviets actually beat us to the moon.
Really?
Yeah.
I like
something you dig. I know you dig stuff like that, but it's
all right. Most of the stuff
good.
I saw that at least they showcased looked so dumb to me. So it just might have been something I had to go digging for.
Yeah, but a lot of the things on there, Knock. The thing about that is Apple TV is so cheap, and a lot of their stuff that they put on there, it is way better than most of the stuff that's on everything else.
I just don't have an iPhone, so I never until I got my government phone. I never had an iPhone, so
yeah.
And I can actually put it on there.
If you have it for free,
I have it on my laptop. I just, like I said, it's just not. I don't watch stuff on my laptop very often. So
I guess
as far as movies go, and so
I don't know. Do they have Apple TV? They should have Apple TV, smart TV app. They should have that.
They might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on
I
what
have to sign
brand
into
TV
them
you
all,
have.
and I just
Yeah.
I'm too lazy.
But anyway, we've been having fun today. Me and John were on a show a little bit earlier, Dangerous Military Nerds on Pop Culture Minefield, and got to meet Dale Dye, who is one of the greats. If you watch war movies, you've seen him 100 million times, man. He's fantastic. And let's see, we did that. And then when we're sitting here in the pre-show, I was watching D-Day Cobra, which is Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and he was covering the DeSantis announcement on Twitter, and it never happened. They could not get the servers crashed on them. They couldn't get it to work. It was funny as hell, man.
Too many people tuning in to watch it.
Oh my God! So when they finally cut it off and said no, we can't do this, there was 634,000 people trying to get into that friggin' what do they call it? Spaces? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah.
They were trying to get in that space. Let's say hi to the chat real quick. And of course, it's Christian Delorme. What's happening, man? It's good to see you. And he's saying hi to everybody. And he says, me and the lady are starting Tulsa King with Stallone. Any thoughts? I have not seen it. I hear it's great, though. Apparently, this guy, he does Yellowstone. What's the fellow's
Taylor
name?
Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan. He came from Sons of Anarchy. Wasn't he an actor on that show?
Yeah.
And apparently everything he does is fantastic. I've heard that the king of what's the one that Jeremy Renner was on before he got hurt?
Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown. That's it. I heard that's great. I heard Tulsa King's good, man. Yeah, it sounds like you're gonna dig it, dude.
1923 is really good.
Yeah, everything Yellowstone's been good from what I understand. But I just, if I don't watch it from the beginning, then I don't visit it until it's over, basically. So, and from what I understand, in its current iteration, it's over, right?
Yeah, Yellowstone
Costner's leaving it. Yeah.
Yep.
I heard they were talking about getting McConaughey in there.
Yeah, they're going to do a spinoff, another Yellowstone series with McConaughey.
Right, but apparently the thing with Costner's over. Yeah, but and I think he's leaving to do another cowboy show or something. I'm not sure what he's doing, but. Anyway,
the name of it.
Why not?
What's that, bud?
So why not?
Yeah, why not? He's got nothing better to do, right?
He's Kevin Costner.
Let's start off today with Disney and Star Wars. They had a bad week last week. They announced last Thursday, guys, that they were going to shut down the Galactic Starcruiser. Is that something you would have done, being a huge Star Wars fan? Not?
No, absolutely not. Way too expensive.
Way too expensive. Yeah, and I think that's what killed it, man. I really do. I think that's exactly what killed it.
What's it going to Star Cruisers, anyways?
Well,
Star Destroyer would be,
Destroyer, another thing, right? But
that looks like a dumb rebel ship right there.
Right. But apparently, it did not do what they wanted it to do. $2,500 a night, Star Wars themed hotel.
Honestly, I'm surprised that made it through COVID.
Well, it only started a year ago. It started after COVID, buddy.
Oh, well, that was a dumb plan then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they spent $2 billion on this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever see any of the video of the actors doing their thing? Any of that stuff? Did you see any of it?
I have.
I know you have. Knock, did you see any of that
doing
stuff?
What? You mean walking around the park? What do you mean doing?
Yeah,
what?
they actually have battle scenes where Ray's fighting.
I've seen a few videos with that stuff, but
yeah,
they can keep doing that stuff. This isn't going to stop that.
Well,
right, yeah, they'll just move it off of the ship into something else.
She's got a hero lightsaber that actually extends. Then she stops, puts it down, and picks up another lightsaber to do the fight with.
Yeah, it was really badly choreographed. You know what I mean? It was ugly. It was ugly.
Yeah.
But according to this, Star Wars themed hotel at Disney World is being shut down about a year after opening. The hotel, which is marketed as a 2-night immersive experience, will take its last bookings September 28th to 30th. New bookings are being paused until May 26th to first accommodate those who made reservations after September. apparently, according to this article, what they're going to do is they're going to get a hold of these people and see if they want to rearrange and do it before they shut it down. Is what they're going to do. The people that are signed up for afterwards. Upon arriving, guests entered a launch pod to board the house. What is that? Halcyon? Starcruiser. Stay in a room with space view and are able to interact with franchise's characters throughout the ship. That's how they do most of their stuff. But they got some more bad news last week when they decided also it's been a pretty rough day for Disney. Of course, this was last Thursday after we met last time. In addition to closing up the Starcruiser, Bob Iger announced that the company's canceling its plans to build a $1 billion development near its Orlando, Florida theme park. The move, which Iger attributes to changing business conditions, I think we know what those are, but we'll detail that here in a second. In an internal memo, is likely to result in Disney's feud with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Disney sued Florida last month, accusing the state of partaking in a targeted campaign of government retaliation after the company expressed opposition to the state's "Don't Say Gay" law. Of course, that's how all this started, and that was about a year ago too, I think. Hang on, let me finish reading it. The canceled project also means that 2,000 Disney employees in California will no longer have to relocate to Florida. One of the reasons why workers staged a walkout last year. So now go ahead, Knock. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I think this had nothing to do with DeSantis. This was a former CEO was the one that came up with this dumb idea to move this group from California, as performers, to build a lakeside fucking hotel that they didn't want for some dumb reason, which, as they just showed in that last sentence, it was they staged a walkout. So it was a ridiculous idea for people that didn't want it, and it was canceled. I think that was it. I don't care for this article. I think it's much more into
broke.
Yeah.
It was a dumb idea. The was CEO a dumb idea. Was good to cancel it, and I don't think it had anything to do with DeSantis.
Yeah. Now they have after that bill went into effect and everything, they did, get into a battle over I can't remember the name of it, but Reedy Creek. That's it. And apparently he's working on trying to get all their tax exemptions gone. It's basically what it is. It's going to cost him a lot more money to be there. Let's see. Sean Estep says, "Hail, Joe, John, Knock, and Christian. What's going on, man? It's good to see you." This Starcruiser, I mean, I looked at pictures of it, and of course, everybody's seen pictures of it and stuff, but it's something that I don't know. I think the whole thing was they just charged too much for it. I think it could have worked if they hadn't charged so much for it. They wanted too much money out of people. I mean, I think that's just the bottom line to it. You know what I mean? E. Clay Thomas is here too. It's good to see you, man. I think that's the bottom line to it. Everything I saw looked okay to me. I mean, everybody's saying it didn't look like Star Wars and blah, blah, blah. But, hey, man, when you build something brand new, it's not going to be weathered looking. It's, and it's supposed to be, according to the storyline, it's supposed to be a cruise ship, right? It's supposed to be a Star Cruiser. So it's supposed to look like that, So I don't know. I think they just charged way too much for this.
Well,
go ahead.
They had to charge that much because of how much it cost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because they needed to recoup their losses as soon as possible. Well, so they charge a ridiculous amount.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to $6,000 for like a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And normally it's like $2,500 a piece. So it's $5,000 just for a couple.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I'd be interested to see how much, do they have any other immersive type hotels like that? I wonder.
Not like that, no.
No. E. Clay Thomas says, how much money do you think they should have charged? Well, less than $2,500 a person.
Maybe 75 or 75. Sorry to say 7,500.
God, worse.
700 or 800 is
yeah.
what I was trying to say.
Right. Yeah. Something like that. At least $1,000 or less. I mean, yeah, gouging
overnight.
We know that. I think now, Knock, you've looked into building your own lightsaber there, right? Isn't it like $250, $300, something like that? I mean, there's peripherals that you can, get money out of people on, but just to stay in the hotel, I don't know.
I think that's what it was for my nephew. Was like $250.
Yeah,
that was several years ago.
Right, and it could be up to $300-$400 now. But I would spend that kind of money on that. That's something you're going to keep forever, right? That's your lightsaber, the one you built, right? Doing the Luke Skywalker thing, right? Finishing your training, building your own lightsaber. Yeah. I think they charge too much per night for the hotel, and they should have offered more peripherals to try and make the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Everything I saw, it didn't look bad, but the thing about it is, it was an immersive experience. So you didn't. One of the things, and somebody brought this up on another show, and I kind of agreed with it. When you go on a cruise, you usually dock somewhere. So why not have something close to it where you actually went out and did something? You know what I mean? That would have been cool too.
Do you know what they used to get from where they meet up to the actual hotel?
I think it was military cattle cars.
No, it was a box. It was a box truck, like a rider truck that they converted the inside of.
You're kidding me.
So it rode like a box truck.
Wow. High class. Let's see. Someone ran the numbers and determined that it would take 1,000 years to pay it off at $6,000 each. It doesn't sound feasible or a good idea at any price. Yeah, absolutely, man. What the hell? What were they spending all the money on? I mean, it didn't look like anything that was super crazy, Yeah. It looked like a science fiction film.
The advertising.
The advertising. There you go.
They built a custom building for it. There's all the stuff for the stage shows and all that stuff, and
insurance.
Insurance is probably ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know who we get to thank for that, don't you?
Mm-mm.
Kathleen Kennedy.
This is her
her baby.
Oh boy. More stuff. Look, Gary tweeted out earlier today, somebody putting out a story about Kathleen Kennedy fixing to get whacked and all this. I'm like, stop teasing me. Stop it.
I'll see it when it happens.
Right. When it happens, I'll believe it. E-Clay says, money laundering is expensive, Joe. Yeah, it is expensive. But I'm wondering what they're going to do with it now, though. God, they're not going to put a bulldozer to it. They got to try and get some of that
looking hotel and charge like $200 or $300 a night.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to knock it down or anything.
No.
I'm sure. So, I don't know. I would like to go to Disney World just to fly the Millennium Falcon. That looks cool to me. That looks really cool.
And I've heard from people that really sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, you guys are turning me off.
I can't imagine any scenario where that stuff is like that fun when there's that many people there. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I'd rather go to Universal and do the Tron, or not Tron like cycles, but I can't remember what the name of the ride is now at Universal.
I hear the Harry Potter place at Universal.
Yeah, I want to go to that.
Fantastic.
I'm going in September, October down there to Florida. And
that's right. You're part of the Harry Potter generation, aren't you? Yeah, man.
Middle school and high school. And then
yeah.
I read the 7th book, the last book that came out. I read that right after basic training.
Really? Wow.
It came out while I was in AIT, and I read it.
I was a full adult when it came out.
Yeah. I've never read them. My daughter read them. My daughter's the same age as Knock, basically. And my gosh, she had to be there for every show when they came out. Yeah.
I came in at book 4. There was 4 books out when I had started it.
Yeah.
And that's when it really started growing. And
I mean, I recognize how much fun it must be to read those books, because I've watched one of those movies with my daughter, and she just digs it, man. She thinks it's awesome.
Well, it's like our generation with Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And J.K. Rowling, did a great job at explaining it while not being boring,
Yeah.
and describing things in a way for it's easy for a child to understand.
Yeah. Christian says, my wife hates you, Knox. She loves Harry Potter, and we are stuck in Canada. She is jealous. She doesn't hate Knox.
Everything big that started in Florida, like the Harry Potter stuff and Star Wars experience, all that stuff. That was like all that was like next year. Anytime I went down there, it was like, this is coming soon. So I never actually got to experience that stuff because it always happens later after I'd already gone.
Right.
So I'm finally getting to experience that stuff. So
if I'm going down to Disney, the only thing down there I want to ride right now is the Tron light cycle ride.
No, man.
Because I heard that is amazing.
Ooh. Now that sounds cool.
They're like side by side light cycles.
Yeah.
Zooming through the.
Wow. That's cool.
I've heard that's cool. Really fun.
Yeah. Well, I had heard they had a ride for Tron, but I didn't know what it was about. But you're actually on a bike. Wait a minute. I have seen a picture. There's like 4 people on one bike, right?
4 people on there's like 4 bikes back to back. And
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That sounds cool, man.
About this so we can look it up.
Yeah, right. Look it up, bro. Look it up. But I mean, from all accounts, when it comes to, and I purely base this on what I've heard from Drunk 3PO and the Geeks and Gamers guys, because they have their own channel when it comes to theme parks. It looks like Universal is everything they're touching is turning to gold, so
and they've got Super Mario Brothers coming there, Super Mario World coming in too.
That's
gonna
look out.
Completely destroy.
Imagine what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. That looks cool as hell, man. And you're zipping around on a light pad? That's
that
looks neat.
Now they're showing that in the light, but imagine riding that at night.
Wow.
I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of this enclosure stuff, though. It looks like it's going on your back and it's pushing you forward. And I tell you, that Avatar ride, it was the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy?
Matt.
Hey there,
Matt.
It's good to see you. You missed your debut as Jim Cornette, bro.
Yeah. Is this a wheelchair ride? What is this?
This is the new South Park ride where you have to give the low job to move. So that's why they're all leaning forward right now.
Oh.
That's how you get the momentum. So that's what.
Well, when you said South Park and it was people closely packed together behind each other, I thought of their Human Centipede episode.
I was thinking that wheel, the big wheel ride that they have. That what's his name created. But no, this is the Tron ride at Universal Studios.
Yep. So Joe, I've seen the intro and it's wonderful. I couldn't tell whether I was in it or not, though.
I was fixing to say, dude.
Yeah.
I think the only time that you're not Jim Cornette in there is you're actually the face of the guy on the side of the ship. You're the first one, and John's right behind you, and Knock is actually Alec Baldwin, if you can pause it and see it. But anyway, the other one that's got you in it is the
Usual Suspects.
The Usual Suspects.
Oh, yeah.
We're all in there. Yeah.
No, the corny ones were the ones where I was like,
I'm sitting there going, did it even change the face? I'm telling you look so much like that guy. It's not even funny, man. Good Lord. Okay. You got some
if you want to show, yeah, go ahead. This is the Diagon Alley.
Oh, yeah.
Harry Potter. So this is one of the things that came in that whole alleyway. They created the whole thing. So
wow,
good.
man!
You actually go into the wand shop, and they do the whole thing where you pick out. You just don't pick out a wand. They do the whole spiel.
Man, I tell you what, cool. Matt. I wish you'd have been here at the beginning, my brother, because we were listening to. We were trying to listen to Jeremy's broadcast of Ron DeSantis' announcement on Twitter. And the servers kept crashing, and they finally shut it down. Nothing happened.
Wow.
And Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was losing his mind. He went and got on Truth Social to see what Trump was saying on there. And oh my God, it was hilarious, dude. My God, it was funny. Whenever when it finally busted up, when they finally shut it down, there was 634,000 people watching it.
Wow.
Trying to get into it. Yeah.
Well,
but I was in there. Jeremy was in there listening at the beginning of it, and it started okay. But the more people they got, the more sporadic it became. And then all of a sudden it just shut down.
It was not a safe space.
It was not a safe space, baby. No.
The interesting thing about Jeremy with DeSantis was like, he was at a DeSantis campaign rally last fall. I mean, he was 110% behind the guy. And as soon as the guy decided he wanted to step up to the next level and challenge Trump, though.
Yeah. Now he's a total homer for Trump. Right?
He changed his tune.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He was comparing him to Mitt Romney earlier. Is what he was doing. Oh yeah. He's totally flipped on him. Well, he wants him to stay in Florida. Yep. That's what he wants him to do. But boy, I tell you what, he's hammering him. It's ridiculous. But getting back to Disney's problems, they've got a lot of competition. I mean, that Super Mario World that's coming in at Universal is really going to kick their ass, dude. Everybody's going to want to go to that thing after the success of the damn movie.
Next week's going to be interesting, Joe, because we might have to discuss it, is that what comes out on Friday, Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Nothing comes out on Friday.
What's that?
Nothing comes out on Friday. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing comes out. Okay. So I think there's going to be a lot of parents that'll take their kids to see it. So I don't think the numbers will be crazy bad, but I don't know. Matt could be wrong. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, next week and maybe look at the numbers.
We will look at the numbers next week for sure. We'll definitely. It's
going to be very telling. Over the weekend.
Most
I don't
definitely.
Care about any other, but it's going to be interesting. I'm certainly not going to watch it, but. I'll probably watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus, just because I like music. So, and she seems like a pretty good singer. But
have you heard the Awkwafina rap?
Oh God, no! There's an Awkwafina rap in it.
Yeah, she raps.
I mean, that makes you kind of want to watch it more.
Now he's a fan.
I actually like Awkwafina. I do. Yes. I don't know what it is. What was the cartoon she was in first? I keep forgetting the name of it, but she was in that dragon one. Lost
Good
Dragon.
To see you, Lord Toth.
I always forget what the name. It's a Raya and the Lost Dragons or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was Awkwafina as the dragon. And then when I saw her in Shang-Chi, I was like, holy shit, that's the girl from Raya. Mm-hmm. I recognized her because she looks so much like the animation, but I'd never actually seen her before.
Right.
And I don't know. I just been a fan. I've been a fan of hers. And then in Shang-Chi, it was kind of corny, but I dug it. Sometimes I just like corny things. Sometimes
I'm more of a Dasani guy myself than Awkwafina, but that's just me.
What'd you say? More of a what?
I see a lot
more of a Dasani guy.
Dasani.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of memes where Dasani's the one water left alone. So I don't know.
Right.
Hey Joe.
Yes, sir.
If I'm sharing it.
Okay, what you got? Awkwafina.
Oh yeah. Let me skip ahead here.
This is a spoiler. I feel like this is missing some animation.
I'll stop it before we get shot.
Yeah, do that. He killed himself. He hit the wrong button.
It was that bad.
It was that bad. It killed.
I feel like
John.
there's some animations I want to see with that now, but
Oh man, hang on. Oh,
that's funny.
And
are you okay, John?
Studio.
Are you okay, buddy?
Now you're down there.
Are you okay, buddy?
Yeah, I clicked the wrong one.
Clay Thomas says everyone has the right to his own bad takes.
Yeah,
yes, they
I
do,
know.
Clay Thomas. And just remember, guys, as we always say, we never poo-poo people for what they like.
No.
He can like Aquafina all he wants.
I don't know what it is. Just something about her. I just enjoy it.
Christian Delone says, "What was that?"
I think that would have been at least a little bit better if we knew what animation was going on with it.
That's true. We're just hearing the sound. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
She might be dodging bullets for all we know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It could be going Matrix up in there or something like that. Some really cool scene. It just sounds weird.
Well, first of all, I'm not a fan of these live action shows anyway. I think the animated ones are special because they're animated and because they put so much work into them. And I mean, they've had so many talented people work on those things. My wife is a Lion King nut, and I took her to go see the live action Lion King, and I kept messing with her. I was like, "You do understand this is still animated."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That one, yeah. So what do you think about so I guess there's a difference, right? But what do you think about like adaptations? Like what do they got? Like I'm trying to think of the names of them. Snow White kind of deal where they're more actiony, like the more action for like what was the one that Angelina Jolie was in where she was the queen or whatever?
Maleficent.
Yeah, so like what do you think about those kind of adaptations rather than a straight up live action like this Little Mermaid, for instance?
Yes, I like a different take on it. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like yes, I get where you're going. I like a different take on it. Yes. Gotcha. Because I love the one Chris Hemsworth was in, the Snow White story he was in. Snow White and the Huntsman. Love that fucking movie, man. I thought it was great.
We just need a live action heavy metal.
Yes. Oh my God. That would be awesome. That would cost a shit pot full of money. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, if you remember what's in that movie, I mean, Lord, I mean that the Cheech and Chong aliens, man, the everything in there, it looks like everything out of Valerian. You know what I mean? That failed flick failed. I say it failed. Like I said, everybody likes something. That's one of my guilty pleasures. I don't know what it is about Cara Delevingne. I just think she's smoking. But
sometimes
anyway.
Some of the best things fail commercially. Yeah. And then you'll have things like Little Mermaid that I predict will be both bad creatively and bad commercially.
Yeah. It's some of the things I'm hearing about the tweaks to the story just sound all wrong to me.
And they've already done the preemptive, istophobe argument.
Well, it is a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of kids are out of school this week.
That feeds Knox Point. They're gonna make their kid money. They're
gonna make some money, but it's not surviving past the week.
Did they have something out yet that shows like how much it's cost to make that movie? I wonder
how much it.
It was like 250 or 200. No, it's 200 million for the movie, and then you double that for the budget. So
yeah, I think it's around 400 million. It's got to make the break even.
Well, no, it's got to make double that to break even.
Oh God. Wow.
So it's got around, they said between 700 and 800 million.
Let's see. Clay Thomas says, it probably seems worse than it is out of context. Talking about that rap song. And Christian Delorme says, my wife is a big fan of Disney, but all the woke bastardization is just a turn off to any new projects. And Clay Thomas says, it must be the bushy eyebrows, Joe. I know what you mean. Yeah. That girl does have a pair of eyes. And I was telling my daughter this the other day, and I told her I liked Cara Delevingne. She goes, yeah, Dad, but those nostrils, what the hell?
Yeah, John's pretty spot on. He says for a movie to earn back at least 2.5 its budget, which is about
where you at?
625 million.
Okay.
Oh, I was just looking it up. You didn't have to show it. I was just reading it.
Okay.
You know who else?
500 to 625. Man, go ahead.
You know who else
How much
has
it's gonna
prominent,
make?
prominent eyebrows is Jennifer Connelly, and
she is smoking hot. Hello.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. Jennifer Connelly. I watched. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
especially 90s Jennifer Connelly. She's no slouch now, but
She's no slouch now. She's aging gracefully.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to these ladies, when they get a little older and they start getting procedures, I mean, you've got the extreme is Madonna. I don't know what that girl's doing to her face. I have no clue, and then you've got people that all of them get something done, but Jennifer Connelly in the new Top Gun movie, she looked fantastic. She's aging gracefully, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can tell she's gotten older, but man, I'll tell you what, the Vision's one lucky dude. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany, his and her are married, and my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
Woof. Yikes. That is a good looking chick. Go ahead.
The Little Mermaid's only going to get this weekend.
Yeah. So it's got to knock it out of the park this weekend.
Next weekend is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's definitely going to get So this weekend's the little girls. Next weekend's just the little boys.
Exactly.
That's what it'll be. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens. Oh man, my guy's talking about Valerie Bertinelli. You do understand that I live right across the river from where she came from, right, buddy? I actually played Ms. Pac-Man all night at Cowboys drinking with her ex-husband one night when they were still married, when they came home to see her family. And for those of you that are not in the know, Edward Van Halen is that girl's ex-husband. And one of the nicest guys in the world and one of the most gorgeous women in the world. She's from right here, Shreveport, Louisiana. That's where she's from. Yep. Let's see. Cool. Oh man, here we go with the girls. Laura San Giacomo?
Yeah, she was in Just Shoot Me, I think.
Got some brows. Okay, now we're talking eyebrows. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I never noticed that she had eyebrows. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So you never know she had eyebrows.
Actually, the best eyebrows in Hollywood is Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke. See, you're mentioning girls I don't
Game
know.
of Thrones.
She was in Han Solo.
She
was in Solo.
Okay.
She was in the Terminator
Game of Thrones
movie.
was the big one, but
but her eyebrows are just like other hands.
Joe.
What's up? Oh, here we go. We're about to start comparing. Yeah, she does have big ones. Yep. Okay, she's the white-haired chick. I got you.
Yeah, she's one of the Targaryens. Yeah.
Okay. All right. She must have got naked on that show. That's why he said
Absolutely. Very first episode.
I just we're gonna watch it one of these days. It's on the back burner, man. I didn't watch it at the beginning, and I like my fantasy a little bit cleaner. So
how many seasons was that?
7 or 8. It's 8.
So there were 7 seasons, yeah.
So what was the big deal with the 8th season? What was the big deal with the 8th season?
It was a shitty ending. It was a shitty ending.
Okay.
All it was. It was a very shitty ending.
Okay.
It was not the proper way to end it.
I hear
they Amber Heard the bed.
Really? It was that bad, huh?
It was pretty bad. It was really dumb.
The two things I hear the most, Christian Lorem says, Tootie in Facts of Life had greatness too. Okay.
Talk about eyebrows.
That is.
Yeah.
I'd have to look that one up. But
all right.
The two things, and he's going to look it up for us.
Tootie was the
Here we go.
I don't know who that is either.
For the greatest looking chick ever with big eyebrows. What the two things I heard the most out of Game of Thrones was season 8 sucked and the Red Wedding. That's the thing I heard the most about.
Red Wedding was so good.
I love seeing people's reaction to the Red Wedding because as a book reader, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And there's like videos of people's reaction to the Red Wedding. And I'm like, You know
So
that
there's like
that Survivor meme that's got like the girls that are all freaking out and the guys.
So it was the Negan moment in Walking Dead, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's certain scenes where, like, I hate reaction videos. I really do. I hate them for the most part.
Yeah.
There's certain scenes where Red Wedding, the Negan thing, Darth Vader coming out in some of the show, like Rogue One or the game,
Right.
Fallen Order, when he comes into the scene and you get the reactions from people seeing him for the first time.
Yeah.
Some of them are those are great reaction videos, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah. What do we got here, man? Who is
That's
this?
Tootie.
Oh, that's Tootie. Yeah. Okay, I know who that girl is. Good God. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Amazing. Okay.
Her mom was in the short-lived Spider-Man series in the late 70s.
Really? No doubt.
She worked at the
Daily Bugle.
No, that's a
Daily
band.
Bugle.
Spider-Man with the white string web. Yeah. I remember that show.
I have that series.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't collect anything like that, man. I'm the only thing I collect is movies. There's very rarely do I. The only two episodic shows that I've collected are In Living Color, the original In Living Color, and Soap. I like funny stuff, stuff that's funny. I've thought about getting the Carol Burnett show because they just put that out not too long ago, but they want way too much for it.
Yeah, but it's iconic. I mean,
it is iconic, no doubt.
Those skits.
Wait for it to pop up at one of those garage sale, the everything with the garage sale.
Right? Yeah. That's it.
That's where you find them.
I'll hit the garage sales and the pawn shops when people.
Yeah, the pawn shops would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pawn shops it'll still be overpriced.
Yep, absolutely. But Disney's got a lot of problems. They've just to put a bow on this, that they sunk a whole lot of money in that hotel and they're shutting it down. Not even a year later. I mean, by the time they end the run, by the time September 30th gets here, it'll be more than a year. But the fact that they know that they've got to close it is, I mean, it's just one hit after another, and they're not helping themselves with this battle in DeSantis, and they need to get the hell out of politics and get back to creating stuff. That used to be the land of imagination was Disney. That they were the top of their game, But it's not the first time. If you remember, that's not the first time that they've been this close to bankruptcy either. So
no.
And I say this close to bankruptcy, they're nowhere near bankruptcy yet.
No. But they are cash poor right now.
They are.
Robert Iger is the CEO. He took over in November. So it seems to me like he's just cutting the fat. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah. He took over and he's like, look at all this money wasted.
Yeah. But it's been a bad week for Disney and a bad week especially for Kathleen Kennedy.
Yep. And there's a lot of rumors out there that she may be getting whacked, but we've heard this before. I'm not going to buy into it.
Well, the whole Cannes,
you're not going to sell me on it.
The whole Cannes Film Festival thing about Indy sucking.
Mm-hmm. Oh God Almighty! Yeah, we can mention that. I mean, I didn't. I hadn't brought it up today, but even Harrison Ford was upset with how people reacted to that show. It did not get a good. I mean, they clapped for it, but it was golf clap kind of shit. So, by Cannes standards, it didn't do well. And what's really bad is have they started allowing the?
Yeah, they didn't embargo it at all.
Well, what I'm saying is, we saw the Rotten Tomato scores. It was in the 60s.
No, it's 50.
When I saw it first, it's in the 50s now.
It was like 50 or 52.
Wow, let me look that up real quick. Rotten Tomatoes.
Unless it's gone up
Indy
since
5.
then.
Let's see, Rotten Tomatoes. But and
that's out of only like 38 reviews.
Yep. Indiana Jones 5. Let's see if we can find it here. Okay, Dollar Destiny. Wow, it's straight up 50%. Straight up 50%, man. That's where it's at right now. And of course, no audience scores. No audience scores. 0 ratings for audiences. That's 38 reviews. Wow. And some of them really bad. the release date for that one
is the 30th, I think. 30th of June.
30th of June is the end of the next month. Yep.
Yeah, because I think it's going in the 4th of July weekend.
Wow. That's bad, man. That's
Yeah.
bad. So yeah, Lucasfilms, the stuff they're putting in the theater is not doing well, and they just pulled Willow.
Yep,
Right?
that's what I was going to bring up too.
Got whacked.
That's another Kathleen Kennedy project.
Yep.
that is now non-existent because they pulled it off Disney Plus, and there's no physical copies of it.
Yeah, and there's no physical copies of it. It's a total wash. They spent all that money on that show for nothing. That's amazing. Let's see. Christian says, I have the full 5 seasons, 3 movies, $6 Million Man collection on DVD. Wow, nice. That would be cool to have. Lee Majors. Yes. You need to get Benson then, Joe. It's a spinoff of Soap. It's the only spinoff of Soap. And yeah, that would be really good. And he gives me a bunch more emojis. Yes. E. Clay Thomas says TV show sets are scam. They never include all the episodes, which forces you to buy another box set, even more money. Oh, the older ones aren't bad. And then Rotten Tomatoes, no bad dates. Yeah. Yeah. These guys, man, it's not looking good for Indiana Jones. Of course, you know, when we first heard the who was going to be in it, we kind of thought that it was going to be like this. So,
and when the leaks turn out to be true about the whole time travel thing and all that stuff,
that's not good.
It's true, all of it.
It's all true. All of it. That's right. It's all of it. That's it.
So, for anybody is excited on whatever day that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer president of Lucasfilm, her understudy that I think has maybe even been there as long as her or longer, she will probably succeed her as president, or at least that's what I've heard speculation of.
Oh gosh! And who are we dealing with here, Matt?
Her name is, I think, let's see, Lynn Wynn Brennan, I think is her name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Lynwen. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so you're going to get Kathleen 2.0 more than likely,
right?
And that's whether it's a woman or a man or whatever.
Yeah. Well, now I've heard rumors that they're talking about moving Dave Filoni when she finally leaves, moving Dave Filoni up there.
Which
they're kind of grooming him for that.
Would be an improvement, no doubt.
But he's a creative, and I just don't know if they want a creative in that position.
They want a bean counter.
Well, the thing is, though, a bean counter's not gonna save Star Wars.
No,
true.
I heard Midnight's Edge was talking about today, like that they may be bringing George Lucas back.
Yeah, they were talking. That would be the
best thing to fucking do.
Paul Chato says that's his prediction that George Lucas is going to step in.
Yeah.
After Kennedy's gone and go.
I would love
Let
to
me
see
right
that.
The ship.
I would really love to see that.
That would be admitting defeat for Disney, though, which they hate to do.
Yes, they do.
Well, they had to do it once with James Gunn, so you know.
Yes, they did. They brought him back on. So hey, why not? Why not bring back
it's not like
Star
George,
Wars?
It's not like George has to like actually create anything. He just says like, "Hey, Timothy Zahn, why don't you come over here and do that trilogy you wanted to do?"
Christian, right? Nothing is actually ever dead. It can be revived.
Gary Nerdrotic says it's too late to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. Lucasfilm is now dead. Well, I love Gary to death, but he's not going to stop me from watching Ahsoka. I am hyped that show.
Just,
I am looking forward to it.
Star Wars is not Lucasfilm. It doesn't matter who's producing it. Mm-hmm. Star Wars is going to keep going.
Yeah.
Well,
it may not always be good, but it'll be there. It'll exist.
Now that I have finally seen Guardians, I can agree. Nothing is ever dead.
Nothing is ever dead. That's right.
Jeez.
No doubt. No.
What does a person have to do to bite the dust?
Right? What does somebody have to do? I thought
friends with things and let the friends die. I guess.
I thought the same thing last night. Of course, I don't want to do any spoilers or anything, but if you haven't seen Shazam: Fury of the Gods, it's not as good as the first one. I watched that one last night. What happened was one of the shows, we created our own lineup of shows to watch every evening, me and Rhonda. We start from 7 to 8. We're watching Ink Master, old shows of Ink Master, because she loves tattoos and that artwork kind of thing, and the competition reality stuff. The second show we're watching is on HBO. Oh, excuse me. Let me say this correct. Max. It's on Max. Fringe. We're watching Fringe,
Good series.
which I never got to finish. And like I said, it was on the back burner for a long time and decided to start watching it. Well, I went to sign on to watch it last night and couldn't. The HBO Max said said it's not available in your area. And by the way, guys, if you've run into this, don't worry. Just you'll see two things. You'll see a home button, and that says it's not available in your region. And then go down to the settings thing on the side menu, and it will tell you where to download the Max app. You have to do an update to the app.
Just be careful watching Max on an iPad. So, because you got, Max iPad.
Max.
Good night.
That was that,
I need your screen to just
that was
fade
a
to
bloody
black.
terrible joke there, Matt.
Oh man.
Gotcha.
Well, look, I'm just glad I got it because half of the stuff he says goes right over my head.
I come up with a good one about once every 28 days, right? Sorry, that's another one.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Woo. But yeah, just don't worry. All you have to do is update the app. It's still there. Don't worry about it. They actually will let you. They've modeled it after Disney. They've got, dude, the selection of icons you can put on your Max profiles now, And by the way, if you haven't heard this, today's the day that Netflix says you got to divvy up if you want to have somebody that doesn't live under your roof on your account. That happened today. So it's going to be interesting to see
what
how
that means, don't you?
They hate soldiers.
They hate soldiers.
Besides that, that means people are going to be sailing the high seas.
Sailing the high seas? I don't get it.
Leaving.
Leaving.
Pirating.
Oh, pirating. Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to keep it until, oh my God, man, hang on a second. I got to recognize the chat over here. Lord Toth says, I will watch Ahsoka. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it's only mostly dead, talking about Star Wars. And Christian says, it will be like James Bond franchise, ups and downs, different eras. Exactly, Christian. That's exactly what's going to happen. We just ended the worst era of James Bond. We really did. And the next one's hopefully going to be an uptick. And E-Clay's over here clowning. And Christian says, Dad jokes rock. Jed jokes rocks. Yep, that's awesome. You are entertaining him, Matt, no doubt. But yeah, I'm going to keep watching. Well, let me put it to you this way: the stuff that I'm intrigued about, I'm going to watch. I'm intrigued about Ahsoka. I watched one episode of Boba Fett. Didn't watch the rest of it. It was dumb. That wasn't my Boba Fett. I didn't watch Obi-Wan because I knew that was supposed to be a movie, and then they turned it into a friggin' series, and then I was like,
it wasn't even Tamora Morrison's Boba Fett, and he was in it.
Yeah, right? And yeah, he complained about it. It's ridiculous. But, this Ahsoka series looks cool to me. I liked what I've seen out of her in the little bit we've seen her in Mandalorian. I've liked what I've seen out of that. And I just hope could we have a show without baby Yoda? Could we do that? Yeah. Can we do that with this one? Can we? No, he's going to be in there. Oh,
at least one episode, right? I mean,
come on, man.
No, I don't know. No, because they're focusing on. I think they're focusing on the crew of the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. He might show up, but I doubt he'll be in more than a scene or two.
I think if they're going to keep doing the Mandalorian, they need to get rid of him. But apparently, from what we found out when we checked out Celebration, they're going to do a movie to wrap all this up in this time period. So
so it's going to culminate in something.
Yeah, and that's
I
Filoni's
just
movie.
want to see.
No, Filoni's movie's The Dawn of the Jedi, right?
No, Filoni's doing the wrap up.
He's doing the wrap on this. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see some more growth out of Grogu, like actual get a little bastard talking or something. I don't know. I'm tired of the little gurgles. It's gonna be like freaking Maggie and Simpsons. It's gonna be 25 years later and still
acting
little baby Grogu
like a kid,
doing,
right?
Yeah, making noises. It's like
it'll be the last episode of The Mandalorian when he says something. You know it.
Yeah, right. E. Clay Thomas says, "Is this going to be just a live action Rebel show?" I don't know.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much with Ahsoka. Yeah.
And apparently this is on the list of Ahsoka things I need to be researching before the Rebels
absolutely.
episodes.
You need to already be starting because that show's coming out soon.
All right, brother man. I will get on it.
Basically,
Taylor made it for you on Disney.
Yes.
Watch these episodes. Like they literally
I got to give him kudos. If I'm going to bash him, I got to.
I watched the first
cool.
couple. They're very the character building episodes.
Making a user-friendly outline for me to watch is very nice. That's very cool. I like that. All right, well, let's move on to the next subject we've got here today, boys and girls, and that is the passing of one of the better character actors I've ever watched, and he's going to be in the new Ahsoka TV show. Ray Stevenson passed away at the age of 58 this weekend. Well, actually, I think it was Sunday. And we found out about it Monday, right? And I found this interesting thing on People. It said Ray Stevenson was rushed to the hospital from the set before his death. Filming was suspended, a source says. Prior to his death, Ray Stevenson was rushed to the hospital from the set of a movie he has recently begun filming in Italy, sources tell People. Let's see. At the time of his death, Stevenson was on the Italian island of Ishisha. Am I pronouncing that right? Hang on. I did not even share this. I apologize, guys. I'm bad about that. I start reading stuff and don't even share it. Does this say, let me blow this up a little bit.
Ishisha, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Ishisha? ISCH. Okay. Ishisha, where
this Thursday would have been his 59th birthday.
Would have been his 59th birthday. What a shame. Where he was shooting the movie Casino Ishisha. Okay. And it could have been a foreign film for all we know, because he was, I did not know this until I started putting this piece together, but apparently he was an RRR.
Yeah, he's the evil governor in RRR.
And I've never seen RRR, so
I haven't.
You know.
I don't even know what that is.
RRR is amazing.
Oh, I know that, bud, but I think I've chronicled how
I know
slow I read, and it probably wouldn't be beneficial for me. Knock RRR is a movie that blew up last year in the summertime. It's an Indian movie. It's a Bollywood movie. It's got singing and dancing scenes in it and stuff, just like every Bollywood movie does. But from what all accounts, it is the best superhero movie made last year, and it's an Indian movie. Yeah, it's called RRR. Check it out, dude. If I don't know if you watch foreign films at all, but
not really.
From what I understand, it was great, and it won Best Song at the Academy Awards this year. One of those Bollywood songs was the best song of the year. Got the Academy Award for that movie. It was the only Academy Award RRR won, but I was glad to see that. But anyway, he was in that movie, and so I'm just saying this could be a foreign film. For all we know, I don't really know what this is about. But a rep for Stevenson did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. Spokesperson for Paramount Global Content Distribution, the production company behind the upcoming movie, did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. No further information was known. Okay, so that was Sunday evening. He passed away. And then we've got some of his Marvel family reacting to his death here. And it's mostly through tweets and Instagram. Right here, this is I guess that's the girl from the Thor movie, Jamie Alexander.
Yeah.
She says, Ray, man, my heart is shattered. You made every day so much fun on and off set. You always looked after me, always made me laugh, visited me while I was in the hospital, sang that weird song about the red rooster, laugh out loud, arranged the best dinners with the best foods. You were the absolute best, man. I've got some damn good stories about you, but I'll behave. I would have loved more time with you, so much more. Rest, my brother, on one knee, my fist over my heart. You know what it means. I'm sending so much love to your beautiful family. Love you. Yeah, and every one of these things I read, they say how funny the dude was. You know, Rosario Dawson, who just got done working on Ahsoka with him, said a giant of a man. Ray Stevenson, stunned and reeling from this tragic and devastating news, gone too soon from this world, at a loss for words. Just wanted to mark this moment and share your ever ready and present smile. Love you forever. Holding your family in my heart. Legends never die. So, yeah, this guy. And if you think you've never seen this dude before, I got news for you. You've seen him a lot. This guy has had one heck of a career. The only leading role I think he ever had was as the Punisher, as Frank Castle in Warzone. He actually played Frank Castle.
Which that is an unapologetic, just mow him down.
Yes.
Movie.
And what's funny is that movie really split the fans of the Punisher, because some people love that thing. Razor Fist says that's the best Punisher movie ever made. You know what I mean? And it's over the top. It's not for the meek, man. It's an over the top gory show. But you can say what you want about the movie. He was great as Frank Castle. He was the highlight of that movie. He really was. And he may be the best guy that ever played him. Yeah, he may be. I mean, I like John Barenthal's Punisher, but much like Mac Bolan in those old books, he was an imposing figure, like Batman. He's a big dude.
Yeah, I like the fact that Ray Stevenson and Dolph Lundgren were both big dudes, whereas Thomas Jane and Barenthal are not huge dudes.
Right. E. Clay Thomas says RRR is overrated. The action was okay, but the rest was meh. And Lord Toff says, yeah. And he says, I need to watch that Punisher again. Love him in Rome. Well, we got a clip for you from that movie. Let's see. I've queued that up already, didn't I?
Yeah.
Let me get that going real quick. I'm not.
And where's the timeout button for E. Clay Thomas talking about RR being overrated?
Right.
I don't know. I'm going to take him at his word. I trust his judgment, so I'll never watch RR.
Hey, remember, we don't poo-poo people for what they like and what they don't like now. All right.
Unless it's The Little Mermaid. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Unless it's The Little Mermaid.
Does RRR have what's her name?
RRR. What?
Does it have Aquafina in it? Then I'll watch it.
Clay Thomas is left out loud. All right, let me get this going here, guys.
And I don't want to steal Ray Stevenson's thunder, but there was another celebrity that passed away today.
Yes. And I did pull up something on it. We will discuss that. By the way, guys, we have not missed the fact that Tina Turner passed away. But I loved her. I loved her music, but I'm more concerned with this guy because my first love is movies. If this was my dad's channel, he'd be talking about Tina Turner right now. You know, right? So, okay, let's see. Let me get that, and let's make sure we check the box. All right. You let me know when I'm done playing this, buddy. This is from Rome, guys.
You can play for as long as you want. It's just at least like a couple, 20-30 seconds of it.
All right. Well,
it's only 4 minutes long itself.
This is from Rome. Check him out.
Hello, sir. Late of the 13th.
The famous Titus Pullo. I am honored.
Likewise, honored. Talk about famous. Everyone's heard of Cicero.
Yes. I dare say your work today will earn you immortality.
How's that?
I will be in all the history books. My killer's name, no doubt, will live on also.
My name. Thought you meant me. Good peaches.
Yes, just getting.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, see, yeah, good peaches. He's about to kill the guy, and he's like,
right. He's about to kill the guy. And he's worried about the
Titus
peaches.
Polo. Like,
See,
that's him.
I'll tell you something about this guy, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy was a good actor because he played so many different kinds of parts. Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite movies I ever saw him in was a movie called King Arthur, and he does not say a word as far as I remember. He might say 2 words in that entire movie. He is just a strong, silent type. He's the backup for the guy that's got all the kids, right? Have you ever seen that movie, King Arthur, with Clive Owen playing King Arthur?
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's my second favorite King Arthur movie.
I always prefer that kind of down to earth King Arthur than the one with.
I assume the first is Excalibur.
Crazy.
The first is Excalibur. That's the measuring stick, no doubt. And have you ever watched Excalibur, Knock? Have you seen
I may have, but I think Clive Owens was my favorite.
Your favorite? Yeah.
I like the more down to earth.
Well, the thing about it, when you say down to earth, yes, Excalibur's got the fantastical in it, Excalibur and the Lady of the Lake and all the magic and everything, Merlin. But what's really what it's got above other medieval movies, it's realistic when it comes to the armor and shit. These guys are walking around like they've got 100 pounds on. Yep. They're not running around just, dancing and moving, doing all these moves. It is a struggle for them to move in these suits, man. And they show that in that movie. That's what I love about it.
Didn't
I think
Excalibur
awesome.
have a lot of lens flare? Let's see.
Lens flare?
I remember it being just very
well, they did.
shiny.
Yeah, he did some of that. But you know what? It was more of a physical way to show the magic. If you understand what I'm saying. He did that a lot with the sword. You see a lot of emerald lighting on Excalibur itself. Yeah. The green
and you
lighting.
get a gleam off Merlin. You get a gleam off Merlin's skull cap.
The gleam off of Merlin's cap and all that stuff. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see.
The second best King Arthur movie is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
No.
I'll die on
second
that
best. That's the third best. That's the third best. I'm sorry. I like King Arthur better. Let's see. Christian says, but an awesome sequel of movies, The Raid and The Raid 2. Yeah, got you, man. Lord Toss says, laugh out loud. A great actor. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. He played several different types of roles. You see him right there. He's got comedic timing in that scene with the peaches thing, right? Lord Toth, Excalibur, a true 80s masterpiece. Yes, it is. Well, it was made by a great director, too. A guy named John Borman made that. And if you ever watched his movies, he's really good. And E. Clay Thomas says, I wish Rome had gotten a proper ending. Really? Did it hang?
It just seemed like it ended too short. That's all. Yeah. There's a lot of history there, so it just kind of ended. It was only 2 seasons long.
Really?
So it wasn't.
You got to the end and it felt like they were just wrapping up as fast as they could.
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it was a great series.
Definitely they did that with Carnival Row, the one I've been trying to get Gary to do on Fantastic Friday, man.
I tried to do that one. I was bored with it.
Yeah.
I gave it like 3 or 4. I gave it a good try.
Yeah.
I think I got it halfway through the season. I gave up on it. I haven't.
It's the Cara Delevingne thing for me. That and the steampunk aesthetic. I love the steampunk.
That's what got me into it. But then it was like, then it just got, I don't know. It was boring.
Let's see. Lord Toth says Rome ended with a thump. Yeah, I hear you. But getting back to our man Ray, I mean, his filmography, dude, some of the stuff he's been in is just dynamite, dude. I've got to switch back. We're not doing video now, so I got to switch back to the other screen. Bear with me. But he's played so many good roles. And like I said, a lot of people think he was really good as the Punisher. And I agree with it. I just don't. I think that movie was way over the top violence-wise. And, that's what kind of turned me off of it. But, man, he played some great roles. Apparently, this is one I've got to revisit, too. He apparently was in Black Sails, too.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
I don't know what part he played in that show, but man, he looks cool as shit.
What was it? He was Blackbeard. He was
Yeah.
Blackbeard on there.
He played Blackbeard on Black Sails, huh?
Yeah,
wow,
that was a great
man.
show. I missed that show. He was on there for 11 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Friggin' oh, come on, man. Don't do that to me. My TV's acting up on me. For some reason, I cannot find the echo things where I can get it to stop trying to turn off. But of course, a lot of Marvel fans are going to remember him as the guy from Thor. They're going to remember him from Thor.
Volstagg.
What's his name in Thor?
Volstagg, part of the Heroes 3.
Okay.
Warriors 3.
The Warriors 3, yeah. I want to find his picture in here. I'm sure there's a picture of him in here somewhere. There's Kenneth Branagh. You didn't put the rest of them in here? Come on, man. Give me a break. I'm sure there's a picture of him in here somewhere.
It made sense for Kenneth Branagh to direct that.
Yes, because he is a huge Thor fan. Big time Thor fan. As a matter of fact, the movie that he did, which I loved, have you seen Belfast? The one that was up for Best Picture that he directed? It's obvious that he's the little boy in that movie. And at one part at the beginning of the show, when he's waiting on one of his parents to get out of a store, he is sitting on a curb reading a Thor comic book in 1968 Belfast. You know, cool. It's obvious he's the character. You know what I mean? Yeah. He loves Thor, man. He's a big
another one he was in he was in Book of Eli.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. God, see, I'm just
great movie.
It just blows me away. The guy was he's one of those guys like a Ned Beatty that just every time he was on screen, he chewed up the scenery and knocked it out of the park. You know what I mean? Yeah, I completely forgot he was in Book of Eli, man. That's crazy. You know what? Okay, there he is finally. I finally find one of these of him sitting. Of course, he's sitting down with a goblet, of course, right?
Yeah.
Because we know my man likes to eat, right? Yeah. But this is the thing. He plays a strong silent type in The Punisher and really a smart guy, but still the strong silent type in Book of Eli, right? And definitely in King Arthur, but then he plays parts like this where he's basically the court jester in this show.
Oh,
you know, in Thor, he's hilarious in Thor. He cracks me up.
So
you know,
is the speculation in Ahsoka that he's going to be a former Jedi?
Don't know. We've seen pictures of it. We've seen pictures of it.
There's just nothing there right now.
There's nothing there. We know his name. Hang on, I'll show you what that is.
And apparently those orange lightsabers are the color they're supposed to be.
Those orange lightsabers are the color they're supposed to be. I don't know where that's
apparently they're turning to the dark side, but they're not completely turned. They've still got some good in them. That was Filoni's explanation.
My theory is that they're not Jedi or Sith. They're probably like something close to like what do they call them? The Jedi or whatever. In extended universe, they used to. It was a broken faction of Force users that like had found a Sith manual, but didn't completely actually go to the dark side.
Yeah,
but the teachings were based on the dark side, so it kind of eased them towards it. But they weren't inherently bad, so they just kind of seemed that way, but they weren't actually evil. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I'm thinking about. You know, that's my theory. That's based on literally nothing but conjecture. But
I'm gonna look and see.
There really is no setup for this yet.
Pretty sure. Yeah, there's the picture. This is the picture that we're getting from the Ahsoka series. The character is Balin, I think. Something. The last
Balin
name
Skulls. Something like that.
Skull, something like that. Yeah, but that's the visual we're getting of him in this show. And it looks, I don't know. I mean, this is pure speculation, folks. We really don't know. All we've seen is the Ahsoka trailer, but he looks like the big bad in it. Is what it looks like to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I mean,
but
he's not, because we know who the big bad is. But
yeah. Oh,
big
well, yeah. Okay. Okay, all right.
There's no doubting who the big bad is in this.
Okay, so this is the big bad's point man. I guess I should word it correctly.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's either a different faction that has nothing to do with Thrawn, or he's working for Thrawn and Thrawn's using them in some kind of fashion.
But a more killer look, I don't think they could have achieved with that actor. That looks really cool. That looks menacing. That's one of the reasons why I want to see this. I want to find out about this dude. You know what I mean?
And the only reason I'm not fully convinced that they're evil is the fact that his apprentice has the beads.
Yeah,
the Padawan beads. That's a Jedi thing.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't think Sith did that.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. So that's an.
And we saw that in the trailer. Do we need to watch this trailer?
Yeah, the trailer. She has the Padawan beads in her hair. So definitely his Padawan.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm up for watching it again. It gives me a chance to see Harrison do it again.
Let's do
it.
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
And Chopper.
I've got to switch.
Oh my gosh, Sabine. They couldn't have picked a more perfect person for Sabine. She's gorgeous.
Well, people are complaining that the actress playing Hera is too young. I'm like, no, she's perfect.
Let's catch up with the chat real quick. Hang on. Let's see.
He doesn't use the Force. He uses the Schwartz. As E. Clay Thomas.
Okay, E. Clay Thomas says, yeah, they were told they were getting canceled midway through season 2, so they had to rush things along and try to end it.
That's right.
Christian says, what are your thoughts on Merlin with Sam Neill? I've never watched it, man. Never watched it. I guess I should. What's that?
Was that the Merlin with the kid?
I think it was a miniseries on television called Merlin.
Okay, well, there's been a couple. There was like a Merlin series with this
is
young
that the
Merlin.
CW Merlin?
No, it's a British series.
I think the Sam Neill one was on NBC. I think. Let's see. Same for Spartacus.
Oh, Spartacus
needed more.
It was such shitty writing, but it was so fun to watch.
E. Clay Thomas also says you played Blackbeard. That show was awesome. Okay. He's talking about Black Sails.
That was Black Sails.
He made a correction. He doesn't use the Force. He used the Schwartz. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what we got here. Okay. But yeah, we'll watch this real quick. I got to change, of course. When I'm doing a video, guys, I'm trying not to get hit, so I change the way I do it.
Take your time.
Yep.
We could talk Star Wars all day.
I know you're all about the Star Wars, and I knew we were going to get into the discussion because of this guy. I really hate he's gone, man.
I mean, we're
going to see a lot more good stuff out of him.
I don't know if he did anything else before this.
Here we go.
Like right before it.
Something's coming. Something dark.
So cool.
That is cool.
She does that in the cartoon.
This is a new beginning.
I saw merchandising.
Yep.
War.
What, the wig? Yeah.
The low.
There she is.
Others.
Now you can pause it. If you go back, Joe, go ahead and go back, and you can as soon as it opens, you can see it going down the front there.
Hang on. Okay.
Too far.
Past the space stuff. Okay. That's him.
So if you watch closely, right underneath the hood, they might show it a little bit better soon, but I saw it there.
Let me know when to pause it. I'm going to let it go.
You can pause it right now.
Okay.
As soon as she lifts her hood down, you can pause it.
Yeah,
okay. Gotcha.
It's hanging off right about here.
There you go. You see it right there. You see it right under your chin. It's coming down from her hair, right down.
Right here.
Right there. Yeah, that's it, right there.
Okay.
That's a Padawan. That's a Padawan thing.
I got you. Okay.
Power.
And then, of course, the color dictates that's probably his Padawan.
Guys, I got to tell you, I love the starships in these shows. Good God,
changed.
I think they're awesome.
I started hearing whispers.
Dude.
Thrawn's return.
Yeah.
Now, if you hang on, Joe, if you pause it real quick, there was speculation that the spot that he's walking up to is where I think what's her what's her name? 2% from Mandalorian.
2% from Mandalorian.
Jesus, Bo-Katan.
Okay,
that's actually
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan's 2%. Did you hear that, Joe? Did you hear about the 2%? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so she goes on a rant on one of her interviews that some people want this, a certain percentage want this, and 2% people want me to sit on their face. And
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, fans are going crazy. Like only 2%. I don't think that's true, but no.
That's
but
great,
no.
man.
If you look at that scene where he's walking forward in that rock right there, you can go back to that scene.
Yeah,
and there's speculation that scene is what gets bombed in Mandalorian season 3.
As heir to the Empire.
Did I not go back far enough?
No, you didn't go back at all.
Okay. Thought I had. There he is.
Right there.
Okay.
So because of the scene, it looks like that might be the place where they bombed her little place. That might have been Mandalore.
Okay.
So, or not Mandalore. She'd be the planet nearby where she had taken place. It's just a theory, so it just seemed kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
As heir to the Empire. We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
That's a force choke, bro.
It definitely is.
Yep.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
That looked like a lot of ship parts to me. Maybe
that shit looks good to me, guys. I don't know.
The guy in the hologram that they're talking to, that's Ezra Bridger.
I don't think they were talking to him. I think that was just a showing.
Was that just an image of him?
Yeah, I think that was just an image. I don't think I think that was her longing for him to find him. I don't think they've actually found him yet.
But that guy that our man Ray is playing is definitely a Sith. He's got
not a Sith.
He's Sith adjacent.
Yeah,
like I said, there might have been some teachings there. He might not necessarily be Sith in general, but there might have been some influences. Into it, but he might be a Smith,
a leftover Inquisitor.
Why would he go orange? That doesn't make sense to me. The thing that's throwing me off is the fact that he's got a Padawan who has a Jedi. There seems to be traces of both. Maybe there's some kind of balance that they tried to go for. He's more like a gray Jedi.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
because
there seems to be influences from both sides.
Right, you gotcha. What? Hang on a second. Let me get this out of the way. Christian Delorme says it was a movie with Sam Neill and Rutger Hauer, and it focused on Merlin in his 20s and 30s. It was a movie. Okay, I thought that must not be the miniseries I'm thinking of then. Okay, well, I'll have to check that out, man. I don't think I've ever seen it, and I did not know Rutger Hauer was in it, and I love watching his shit, so I'm gonna have to check that out, no doubt. Okay, now what I wanted to ask you, Knock, being the resident genius when it comes to this stuff, or actually, that's the wrong word. You're a human. Star Wars Rolodex, basically. Okay. What does the lightsaber color tell you?
Orange is a little different. A lot of the ones have not all the crystals to really matter colors at this point. You know, they gave Samuel L. Jackson purple because he wanted purple. That was George Lucas just giving him color. There was literally nothing about purple in general.
Right.
Sometimes the crystals that you find that you're attuned to could be any color, really. It's just that there was some precedent for certain colors meaning something. Like blue was a guardian, green was a counselor, more of a negotiator, or more attuned to the force, whereas blue was more for guardians and fighting, and yellow was for sentinels and more guards. Red was the corruption of a crystal. White was the decorruption of a crystal, which is why Ahsoka has white lightsabers. She found evil, red lightsabers and took, cleansed them, and they became white. So there is some lore behind them. As far as orange, that's the very specific, especially because there's two of them. So I think that's something that we're gonna have to learn as we go. What lore they put behind that? We got to find out more about what they're.
I just with them bringing Thrawn in, and I've heard so much about him. And a guy like this playing in it, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to the show. It's the first thing in Star Wars I've looked forward to it in a long fucking time. I'll tell you that much. I mean,
and
I'm not a total, and just to let the listening audience know, I keep calling him a genius when it comes to Star Wars. He's read everything, guys. That's why I say that. But I'm a fan just of the movies, and I have not enjoyed a lot of what Disney's done, but I've enjoyed some of The Mandalorian. I thought they've done a good job with that, and I am more pumped to see this than I was The Mandalorian. No doubt about it, because I want to see some shit that has to do with the Force. That's my favorite part of fucking Star Wars, is that the religious pursuit of the Jedi, of the Sith, and the struggle between the two. I love it, and this looks like it's right up my fucking alley. Go ahead, Knock. You were about to say something.
No. I was just saying we just don't know what their purpose is. For all we know, they could be clones that Thrawn created. Yeah. We literally have no basis to go off
we don't
where
know.
they came from.
You're right. We don't
but
know.
on the other hand, Thrawn doesn't really know much about Jedi outside of meeting, Anakin Skywalker, and then coming back after the Purge. So they don't have Jedi in his territory. Right. They have the only time they deal with Force sensitives is when they're little kids, generally little girls that are up from anywhere from 5 to 12, have the ability to navigate them through hyperspace, and then they lose that ability, and that's it.
Really?
So and they're called Skywalkers in their language. So when he had met Anakin Skywalker for the very first time, Thrawn, he was very confused by his name. Because his last name was Skywalker, and it confused him because But it turns out, at the very least, he was Force sensitive. So when when he came back in later stories with Darth Vader, Darth Vader was able to do the things that his Skywalkers were able to do because of the Force. And he's like, wow, that's interesting. So that's what I'm saying. Like this could go either way. They could be a faction that was found after a long time. They could be clones. We just don't know.
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see. I just hope they tell a good story, man, because they're about, I'd say about 25% effective at that so far with Disney. And I've liked some of the stuff in the movies, but man, most of the movies I have.
And let's pray that there's not a desert planet.
Please, could we get off the fucking desert? I mean, come on.
There's even planets like what's the one Felucia that's got plants just everywhere. Just why not one of those?
Why don't they take cues from the best trilogy of the whole fucking franchise? They went to different places. There was a gas fucking planet.
Yeah.
There was a fucking ice planet. There was a jungle fucking planet.
But it's cheaper to shoot on the volume set if it scenes in a desert.
It is true. But and there's some cases where they go into they navigate black holes. They did it in Solo.
Yeah.
So
that's the Kessel Run, right?
So there's actually some stories of hidden bases in those kind of places.
Yeah.
Where they actually created the Death Star.
So let's just cross our fingers and hope they give us something good this time.
As far as I know, in the new canon, they haven't really dealt with them all, if it even exists. I don't know if it does exist in the new canon, but plans are still out there somewhere.
Yeah, and they're and it looks like they have some kind of roadmap now, though, which is better than what can be said about the sequel trilogy. There was no roadmap there at all.
That's all Filoni, though.
And they knew what they were doing when they and you heard it in that trailer, the Era of the Jedi. They knew what they were doing when they said that.
Oh yeah, they definitely were talking to you guys that have read all of that old canon, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's what
But
they
it
were
was-
talking to.
I don't know. The whole Heir to the Empire line, I find it a little bit patronizing. That's just me.
Yeah.
Hey, if at least they're bringing back Mara Jade, that'd be pretty cool.
Apparently, I've been tipped. Let me go. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this at all. Let's see. He says, you've been tipped. Hang on one second, and I will check out my dashboard, my friend. I probably won't be able to show it up here, but I will definitely read it. Let's see. Yeah, it's been so long since I've been on my Stream Elements thing that, what? Come on. You can't show this right now. Come on. Give me a break.
It's thinking about it.
It's being a pain in the butt. No, don't do this to me. Not now.
Mara Jade's a redhead, so I don't know that they'll be bringing her back.
Right? We know all about Ginger Side, dude. It's just not. I want to see Mary Jade, though. This is okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to see this chick. I've heard so much about her. You know,
She's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh God.
And she doesn't even in the old canon, she doesn't live that long into the future,
No.
after she comes into play. So I don't know what, like 15 years maybe. So
yeah, she turns kind of good, marries Luke.
Has a kid, and then when the kid's still what was he, like 12, 13? Ben?
Yeah, she dies.
Skywalker, she got killed by Jason Solo.
In Disney canon, they could do whatever they want to with her.
Yeah, they really can.
Yeah, they can.
And because it's so wide open. She even joined the academy for a while, and then left that. Not for a while, but for a little bit, and then left. She was a privateer for a while.
What?
Uh-oh.
She was
what?
She was a pirate.
Yeah, she was a pirate. What? She joined the best pirate gang for a couple of years. She came the second in command.
Wow.
So there's so much there, and that
cool.
is in the Heir of the Empire. So
yeah.
There's so many things they could bring, but the only reason I don't think they're going to do that is because of how much they brought in the rebel, Hera, Sabine, and all of them. So
yeah,
I think more of the focus is going to be on them rather than bringing in any other characters. So, because you still got to get.
Christian, I hate it, man.
So we've had everybody, but
giving me a tip, I really do. But this thing is being a pain in the ass. I'll see if I can get on it on my phone, because I do have a browser on my phone that I go to occasionally, but it is being a pain in the butt, and I don't know why it's doing it. Hang on.
Ezra Bridger grew on me. I didn't really care for him at first.
No, I didn't. He was kind of annoying. Although I got to admit, the lightsaber blaster is a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll bring that back. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Come on. Done. Look at this. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry, guys. This thing, 2-step verification.
Mother's maiden name.
Mother's maiden name. Yep.
Look.
DNA sample.
Christian, thanks for the tip, man. I'm sure if I know Christian, it's $5 as usual. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I can't type what you want me to say in there, and I will say it. You know I will. But apparently, I'm going to have to deal with this after I get off the stream, because I don't want to sit here and mess anything up more than I'm already doing. But and I just closed all my damn source material out. Son of a bitch. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Fuck. That's all right. At least I know how to look up my history, so I'll be okay.
Well, Kathleen Kennedy, she can work with no source material. Joe,
yeah, no source material, right? don't need it. Don't need it at all. But yeah, to put a bow on Ray Stevenson, guys, if you think you haven't seen him, you've seen him in a lot. And the thing that struck me the most was he's 58 years old. Guys, I turned 58 in July. His death made me start feeling my mortality, man. It's yeah, and I hate that happened to him. But
whenever they interviewed him at Star Wars Celebration, which was maybe a month ago.
Yep.
On the red carpet, he didn't look bad.
No,
Yep.
no, he doesn't. He didn't. And
Well, the way
it's really strange.
the way that article was written, it sounded like he had a heart attack, and they're on that island, and they just couldn't get him.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Get him to the hospital quick enough to save him.
Okay, it looks like my computer may be acting up because now everything's taking a long time to load. So, I'm not going to be pulling anything else up. Doesn't look like. Wait, no. All of a sudden, and now it's doing it. I might have some shoddy internet there for a second, but let me see if I can go to my history and get some of the stuff that I had brought up earlier. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
I don't know if you guys even noticed, but I did put Titus Pullo. That's my name for tonight.
Titus
That's
Pullo.
his Rome name. Yeah, that's
his Rome name. Nice.
That's how I'm always going to remember him. I watched that. I'd actually watched that show so much that I started talking like him because he says ma'am, like mom.
Yeah,
he has that where he says like, yes, mom. So it kind of sounds like mom, and I started doing that. And, one of the other things was one of the other actors, the other main actor in that one,
Kevin Kidd.
Yeah, Kevin Kidd. He gets really he's coming back to the army. He gets really pissed off at this guard because he's whistling. And he's like, "Soldier!"
Right?
Attention.
Okay, well, maybe this thing will. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, Christian. I'm gonna try one more time now that it's acting right. Let me see if I can get it going here. See if I can get it going. Come on. You know you want to act right for me. And no, it's making me sign in. Sorry, Christian. Sorry about that. But to put a bow on Mr. Stevens, I think we're missing out on a bunch of good stuff. And what's gonna suck is if his character ends up being just awesome in friggin' Ahsoka and he lives through it, they're going to have to recast the role, which recast the role, Disney. It's okay to recast a role. Okay. You can do that.
Yeah. That's the other thing we don't know. Is it a moot point? Because he might,
right.
Yeah. Whenever Star Wars has masters like that, they have an apprentice, they always die unless it's Palpatine.
Yeah.
Because he always comes back. The master's going to die, so right. I feel like he's only going to last this one season. He was going to anyways. So, and that's probably what's going to happen. And then it'll just be the apprentice. So,
unless he's a bad guy like Reva was, where you can just get stabbed in the stomach repeatedly and just walk it off.
Just shake it off. It'll be okay.
I think Kenobi may have been worse than Book of Boba Fett.
Didn't watch it.
It hurt the lore more.
Did it?
Yeah.
It still made Vader look like a badass, though.
Oh yeah,
he pulled that ship. He pulled the ship apart with a freaking force. Like
as long as it didn't fuck him up, that'll be okay.
He's still a badass.
Kristen DeLorme says, "Look at Robert Palmer, guys. He got a clean bill of health from his doctor and died of a heart attack 3 weeks later." Yeah, you don't know when your number's up. Your number's up. I mean, yeah, it's
the same with the same with strokes. There's a local radio guy. He is early 50s, perfectly good health.
Yeah,
had a stroke a couple of weeks ago while on the treadmill, and they were able to get rid of the blockage that was causing the stroke, and he sounds 100% fine, and he feels 100% fine. But sometimes it's genetics, sometimes it's lifestyle, and then sometimes it's just pure bad luck when you have a health issue.
Yeah,
well,
it can be any one of those three.
Yeah,
that's the rumor that's what happened to Jamie Foxx is he had a stroke and he's now in that rehab facility.
You would have to think that's what's happened to him because they're being very up in the air about it, and we have not seen him in public. Now, that usually tells me they've lost part of their face. You know what I'm saying? As far as the musculature and stuff like that. So
right. And I think his daughter said something about him playing pickleball. Well, if he played pickleball, then why can't he make public appearances?
Why can't he make public appearances? And how come we don't have any pictures of him playing pickleball?
Right.
Trust me, there's some paparazzi out there hovering around wherever the hell he's at.
Well, there's also, the really, really deep conspiracies about them cloning him now.
Well, come on. Yeah, like Hamlin, right? Who's actually he's in camp. He's playing. He's practicing with Buffalo right now.
Yep.
Okay, well,
One of my favorite movies is The Island, where they have that cloning stuff going on.
yes,
You
that is a
remember?
great movie. You want to know what the best thing about that movie is? And this is just the dirty old man in me. It's Scarlett
Kenobi's in
Johansson's
it.
butt in those pants, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. That girl is gorgeous.
You're saying clone that, right? Yeah.
What's that now?
Clone that, right?
Yeah, clone that, please. Several times over.
Just that part.
I mean the whole human. Sorry. I didn't-
Right?
okay.
No, it's just that part.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be as effective.
Yeah.
It'd probably work as an implant. I don't know.
Okay, well, rest in peace, Mrs. Stevenson. We are going to miss you, no doubt, man. And you left us a whole lot of good stuff to watch. Let me tell you, if you guys haven't watched that Punisher Warzone, it's not for the timid, and it's way off the rails. The story is bananas, but he is great as Frank Castle. He really is. He's fantastic. He's a silent, tough guy.
You can turn your brain off for an hour and a half.
If you could turn your brain off for an hour and a half, enjoy some blood, guts, and gore, shoot him up. Yeah. But anyway, last thing we got to talk about tonight, boys and girls, is one of the 3 military holidays we have during the year, Memorial Day. Remember and honor. And I was looking up some stuff on Memorial Day today, and I found out where it got started at. And apparently it's a place called Waterloo. And no, not the Napoleon's Waterloo. Waterloo, New Jersey. Memorial Day is an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving the U.S. military. Memorial Day 2023 will occur on Monday, May 29th. Originally known as Decoration Day, it originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials, holding family gatherings, and participating in parades. Unofficially, it marks the beginning of the summer season. And don't forget about the mattress sales. Don't forget about that. You know, we got to have a good mattress sale if we're going to have Memorial Day.
Also, the massive amounts of beer that's going to be sold.
The massive amounts of beer. Not Bud Light.
It's not going to be Bud Light. No,
no, it's not going to be Bud Light.
Even though Walmart was selling it for like $1.74 a case or something.
Yeah. On May 5th, 1868, General John A. Logan, leader of an organization for Northern Civil War veterans, called for a nationwide Day of Remembrance later that month. The 30th of May, 1868, is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet, churchyard in the land. Yeah, that's where it got its start, is shortly after the Civil War. And I think it's pretty sure I saw right here, it says, welcome to Waterloo, New Jersey, the birthplace of Memorial Day.
Looks like New York to me.
Yeah, Waterloo, New York.
Is it New York? Did I say New Jersey? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
New York. Okay. So Waterloo, New York. I'm looking for where it's at in the article. I missed it. But anyway, that's apparently where it got originated. Waterloo, New York. Let's see. Waterloo, New York, the official birthplace of Memorial Day, for starting the tradition of Memorial Day services in 1866. Okay. There you go. That's where it started at. What do your families do on Memorial Day? What do you guys do? No,
my family goes, we'll obviously go visit, family grave sites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't have, all my grandparents are dead. My mom and dad's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously I'll be, visiting their grave sites. And a lot of and we usually do that. We usually do that Sunday after church.
Yeah.
But but a lot of times my family gets together and barbecues.
I was fixing to say that's what we do here. It's cookout. Yeah. The here in town this weekend we have. I'm sure Matt will know what this is all about. We got Mudbug Madness going on down in the festival area in downtown Shreveport. It's a big crawfish festival.
Yep.
And there's going to be bands and everything. It's going to go for 4 days. It's going to start Friday and not wrap up till Monday night.
Bite the head, suck the tails.
That's it, man. That's it.
You just don't want to be the guy that has to clean up. Yeah.
No, you don't, because that is some rancid stuff, man. Ugh, it's a mess. Yeah. That's see, I always tell people I don't like crawfish. I like their bigger brothers from the north, lobsters. I like those. Right. That's what I eat.
That basically live until something kills them.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Crawfish was drunk food to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When you drank, you ate crawfish? You ever had it, Knock? You ever had crawfish, man?
Oh, yeah. I have relatives in Louisiana.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I've been to Mardi Gras. Well, not the real Mardi Gras, but I've been to the family Mardi Gras.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What part of Louisiana is that, man?
Oh, I'd have to.
I
haven't been. Last time I went, I was 13 years ago.
Okay.
All right. It's been a while since I went over there.
You were still a teenager. Yeah.
I was 20.
You were 20. Okay.
By the way, in real Mardi Gras, Mobile, Alabama, the home of Mardi Gras, just so everybody.
The home of Mardi Gras?
Everybody knows. The original home of Mardi Gras.
Is that in New Jersey? No.
Right? Is that New Jersey? Yeah. No shit. I can't believe. I thought for sure I saw New Jersey on that earlier today.
There's also Waterloo, Iowa. So when you
is there a Waterloo, Iowa? Well, yeah. I could throw a dart and just make it anywhere.
Is there a Waterloo in France?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah, I think that's where the short guy met his doom. The short guy with that like to tuck his hand in his jacket. Yeah.
Odd Job.
Yeah. Man, imagine if he threw that hat. Good Lord, man. Wow. Knock over a horse with that thing. Shit. But anyway, yeah, I always watch war movies and we do, and we cook. My playlist is of course I always play the first one I play on Memorial Day is Saving Private Ryan. That one right there. I mean, the opening scene of that movie just screams Memorial Day.
I watched that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. For the first time, or
no.
Okay.
I watched it again for the.
Yeah.
No, I've seen it a million times.
Yeah, I watch it every Memorial Day, man. I mean, you guys that have seen it know what I'm talking about. The opening scene of it, the guy's going to a grave.
Oh yeah, so
to a gravesite.
Very very powerful scene.
Yes, awesome stuff, man. And I watch. You're gonna laugh at me, but I watch Captain America, the one from World War II. I do watch that one, and the Patriot. I watch the Patriot too.
The Patriot. I was gonna mention that because I do that for 4th of July.
Yeah,
that's when I do
that's on both of them. I watch them both of them. Yeah, but another good movie
and Independence Day
that I need to now that I'm thinking about it and would be more in line now that I know a little bit more about the origins of it. Need to add Glory to my playlist. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Glory, but that is a fantastic movie, man. It is a great movie.
As the flag bearer.
Yeah, man.
Denzel Washington, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, that's the movie really that I think it explains best why they have the best soldier in the unit carrying the colors, because it is a weapon. The colors are a weapon. It's a spear. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And they have to be a vicious fighter to carry those colors. Because they're the point man, basically, right? And one of my favorite things of that had to do with that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the mini series that the History Channel put out. I guess, damn, it's almost a decade ago now, man. Maybe not that long, but it was called The Sons of Liberty. Have you guys seen this thing?
No, I haven't seen that one. No.
Oh, dude, look it up and watch it. You guys will enjoy it. I think it's a 3-night miniseries, and it has to do with a guy who his name. You guys know it from the side of a beer bottle.
Sam Adams. And his name's nowhere on the Declaration of Independence, but it wouldn't have happened without him. None of it would have happened without him. And anybody from Boston can tell you the story of it, but it tells the story of him and his interactions in the Continental Congresses. You know what I mean? The first Congress where he met George Washington, and it's really good, guys. It's one of the most accurate depictions of the American Revolution and it's a small part of it. What was going on in Boston? Okay, from the Boston Massacre to the Tea Party, Paul Revere's ride, all that stuff. It's all in that movie. Lexington and Concord, all that stuff.
I feel like I remember seeing that as a thing.
And it's fantastic, man. It is a great show. One of the things I love about it is they actually show Benjamin Franklin for what he was. A lecherous drunk. You know what I mean? They actually show him for what he was in the movie. And the actor that plays him is
What was
awesome.
the one with Paul Giovanni where he does the trial for the British soldiers? That
John Adams?
Was that John Adams? I felt like Franklin was in that one too. Is that around that's around the same time, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah. I remember my history.
John Adams was his
I feel like
cousin.
Franklin was portrayed in that one as like a womanizer as well.
Frank could have been. I think I've only seen that once.
I think he was at that point. He was an ambassador or something like that in France or something like that. And he was
the one with Paul Giamatti playing John Adams. Yeah,
I think so. I could be confusing that up.
No, you're not. You're not. I think I've seen that movie once.
Yeah.
And
that was a TV series with that one. It was like 10 episodes. I remember watching that one specifically.
Right. But yeah, hang on a second.
I've got it right here. Dean Norris is who played Benjamin Franklin.
Oh man, he's awesome. He is so great in that show. I'm gonna pull this up real quick because I love it. I personally love this scene. And it has to do with what we were talking about to begin with the colors. Hang on.
Christian, we have ceiling fans on just because we don't know how to turn them off.
Right? Exactly. Damn it, son.
There's a switch around here somewhere that does it. I can't find it.
By the way, the guy that played John Adams in Sons of Liberty is Elliot from E.T.
Elliot from E.T., huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Henry Thomas.
Well, one thing I want to mention to Christian, like our ceiling fans here in the States, they do turn a different direction than up there in Canada. So it's a neat phenomenon. And also, Canada has a Waterloo.
Oh my God, that's good. Okay, hang on. I gotta stop sharing I do. I need to stop sharing that and bring this over. This is George Washington reading. This is the final scene of the show, and of course, it's not a spoiler because we all know the history. But it's really neat how they ended this because it's after the British have been bounced out of Boston. George is pursuing them, and they're signing the Declaration of Independence. This scene is so cool. Hang on, let me get the sound going here. The music and everything. It's so great. Yep, no doubt about it, man.
True.
Yeah, it's a great show. I highly recommend it. If you guys have never seen that show, Sons of Liberty is a fantastic show.
So, Das Wolfen, are you saying the Revolution was a horror movie? Is that?
That's a good one.
I've reached my quota.
No. Dude, you are no.
We're gonna need to have a little animation next to him. It's like
you are not X-ray girl, okay? You do not have a limit to how many words you get to speak. All right, bro. You speak as much as you want. I just wish half of the jokes didn't go over my head, man. I'm so old, I don't get them.
Need a bigger hat to catch them.
Right, that's it. Big dish on top of it. Let's see what we got here, Chris. Is this the conversation about the ceiling
Memorial
fans?
Day? Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We are not as patriotic as Americans.
We only honor our vets on November 11th. Okay. WW1 Armistice. Okay, gotcha. No link, says
We're
the
about
dork.
done.
I thought you were on another show, buddy. Thought you were doing your show. Let's see. I love the fact that your ceiling fans, okay, are on in 50 degrees up here. Yeah, well,
It was
we're a little
80
further
here,
south.
so
You know, and Christian, you know, he made that comment. You're not as we are not as patriotic as you Americans. That's a dying breed. For most people, and I'll put myself in this to be honest, because I'm not one for remembrance. My family isn't religious, so we don't really do the whole, you know, going to graveyards thing, and that's just us. But you know, I don't burn flags either. So there's just certain things where I do and I don't do. But for most people, this is a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, it is. It's a reason to get off work.
Yeah,
a lot of the times.
And that's going forward. It's going to become more and more just a 3-day weekend with some people knowing what the whole point of the damn thing was, and some people not. So the fact that you're seeing Joe, you know, speaks to what Joe believes in, where he's actually, you know, bringing this out, giving you a little bit of lesson on it. That's Joe. Joe's old, but you know, it's. You know, it's one of those things where, yeah, we're not as patriotic. Americans are definitely not as patriotic. You know, let's say the most patriotic we've been lately was 9/11. So since then,
and I do see people say Happy Memorial Day, and I'm like, well,
that's kind of a contradiction in words.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm fixing to wrap it up, dork. I'm fixing to wrap it up. You know what it is? We're at the time limit. Let's see. Railway Nation says, laugh out loud, Joe would make a better Dr. Fate. Laugh out loud. Oh, that's too much, man. Listen to this. But I always like to make sure people understand the distinction between the holidays. You've got this one, absolutely. Which is, it's not Happy Memorial Day. You don't use those terms together. No. It's a remembrance of the ones we've lost. And then you've got Armed Services Day, which is for people that are currently serving. And then you've got Veterans Day, which is all of those that didn't lose their lives that did serve the country. And that's the 3 holidays we have for military service. So, okay, boys and girls, that's it for tonight. So let's see what everybody's up to, starting with John. Where you at, John? Let them know what's going on, man.
Well, I'm on, as usual, I'm on Pop Culture Minefield pretty much every time that there's Pop Culture Minefield. You can find me. I was even on the Dangerous Military Nerds today, even though I'm dangerous, but I'm not military. So, you know, I met half the qualifications, or 2/3 of the qualifications. You can see me, and we're on because he's on vacation right now. We're not doing that 70 Rock fan only talk and roll, but we're coming back in 2 weeks with that. 2 weeks, we're coming back on Thursday for his morning coffee with Brian too, because he's in Mexico right now.
Yeah, did you see the video he put up? That was great.
Oh yeah, yep. And then next week, I'm going to start streaming again.
Good.
So next Tuesday evening, I'm going to be either playing the original Sid Meier's Pirates, or I'm going to start playing the original Gold Box D&D games.
Okay, cool, man. That sounds cool. Well, thanks for being here, buddy. And you have a good Memorial Day.
You too.
Tell them what's up there, Matt.
Yep. You can catch me here every Wednesday at 5:30 Central, and that's pretty much it for now. But just, you know, with Das Wolfen talking about starting to to stream again, make sure to support him if you see his live streams out there, and since we are going into Memorial Day weekend, it's definitely a time of reflection and a time to think about anybody that you may have known or anybody that you're related to that lost their life while serving, and it's a time to remember them and to think about the fact that had they not done their part to preserve freedom, we don't know what the current future would look like, or I should say the present looks like. So just make sure to think about them some this weekend.
Yep. All right. Appreciate it, man. Knock, tell them what's up with you, man.
Hey, no, yeah, I'm just here on Wednesdays and, following along what Matt said. If it wasn't for soldiers in the past, we'd be speaking German right now. We'd be speaking, or we could be worse. We could be speaking British, like that English accent. Oh my God. So, rather than, what we're doing now, making up our own language as we go along. No, I'm just here on Wednesdays, and that's probably will be at least until football season starts, and then we'll be doing that every Sunday. So, yep, that's it for now.
Yeah. Looks like Hall of Fame game's going to be the one that we start off our new season. And I don't know, John, are you going to do that one with us, man? You would be a welcome addition to the panel, my friend. I don't know if that'd fill up your Sunday though. You're on Dork Side of the Ring, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's kind of at this point.
But yeah, I'll tell you what, man. You guys remember those we lost, and if this holiday doesn't tell you anything, it tells you this: freedom is not free. It's not free at all, guys. There's people shedding blood for it every year this country's been in existence. So don't forget about that. Let me let you know what's going on with the channel.
By the way, real quick, Joe, just be glad everything went the way it did in 1865, or everybody would sound like me, and we wouldn't want that.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. We'd all be eating crawfish, right? What the heck, man? Wow. Okay, so you guys know you're watching State of the Atmosphere. We do this. Me and my friends get together every Wednesday night at 5:30. We go for a couple hours talking about a few subjects that we see during the week. And of course, later on tonight, you can watch me on Papa Joe Gamer After Dark. I'm going to play a couple hours of video games. My PS2 has bit the dust, which ticks me off because I was going to play Stuntman. Knock bought Stuntman just recently to get back into it. I played Ignition last week. I may play some more of that tonight. But what I need to do is get back into this one and do another part of this now that I've got a controller that'll work with the shit. So I'm going to get back into my playthrough of The Force Awakens, The Force Unleashed. I just peed all over that franchise. Good Lord. No, it's The Force Unleashed, folks. That's what it is. Yes. But anyway, I'll be playing some of that tonight, and that's from 10 to midnight Central Time. And then, of course, tomorrow, my brother will be back. Hopefully his technical difficulties, and that's what he was having last week. He told me about it half an hour before we went on that he was having technical difficulties. His phone was messing up. Hopefully he'll be back, and we'll be hacking the Matrix tomorrow night at 6 p.m. The headline-driven show where we have fun and show you what's really going on behind those headlines. And then Saturday, you got Sketching the Privateer, where you can watch me plot the pages of my comic book. We're in the middle of issue 2. Justifier Jim has gotten busy on the weekends, so I'm not sure when he's going to be back, but we'll find out soon. And then Monday, you'll be able to see me on Pop Culture Minefield with Morning Coffee with Gary. It's Military Monday, and we're going to be doing Hamburger Hill. And that's at 10 a.m. Central on Monday, and it's brought to you by Pop Culture Minefield and KGRA Radio. And that is my whole week of streaming. So for myself, Knock, Das Wolfen, and Small Time Republic, I want to thank you guys for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.